Okay, so let's say you just woke up. You don't get out of bed until you do this routine. There you go. You need a bit of space. This routine is not aimed to make you a bodybuilder or a super fit person. It's only meant to maintain your flexibility, your balance, your strength, your good health for as you age. So do it every day religiously. Don't get out of bed without doing this routine. Okay? You can add to this routine, but this is the minimum you should do. Okay? So this will concentrate a little bit on your flexibility and will give you some muscle strength. I'm going to tell you which muscle we're working every time we do any exercise. So the first thing is flexibility. I'm going to actually be mixing flexibility and exercise. So left and right, this. I need more space there. Okay, so at least 3 times each side. And then you try to push with your hand here to push it all the way as far as you can. All right. Second one, grab your leg like that, and then push your knee here, and down all the way. That's where your other hand should be. 3 times at least. Second one. By the way, this one works your stomach muscles a little bit as well, just a little bit. So, okay. Now that this is done, you extend one leg. The other one, you want to grab your knee and bring it as far as you can to you, and then with the other hand. So for your right leg, you use your right hand to grab your foot and pull it all the way to you and to the outside. So your foot, you're pulling it like this and to this, like that. When you do this, you're going to help yourself with your own muscles. So not only you're depending on your hand, you're helping yourself with your muscles. So that already works this muscle here. Okay, so even without my hand, look at my foot. It's here and there. And that works this muscle. About 10 seconds. This will work this muscle, as I said, as well as because you're using your hand to pull, it actually gives you maximum flexibility in your ankles. Okay, now we do the other one. So this should be extended. This will go back here. Bring it to you as far as you can to your shoulder. And then again, there you go. Don't forget, you're not depending on your hand to do this. For your foot, you're depending also on the muscle. So you're helping, you're working also this muscle here. 10 seconds. All right. Now, you're going to do a little bit the back. There's more to do for the legs, but there's a reason why it is in this sequence. So your feet apart a little bit. Hands here on your shoulders. You're going to work your back muscles. Once you're up, you're going to work your calves. So you're going to go up here. You're going to go like that. Okay? So that way you work your calf muscle. So core up, then work your calves. We're going to do this 5 times. Every time we do it, we hold about 2 seconds up. So up, maximum up, hold 2 seconds while working your calf muscles. 4 and 5. Now the next 5 movements, it's again for the back, but it's also for the neck. And in that one, forget about your calves. So you keep your foot fully flat on your bed. So here we go. Up, and once you reach max, you're gonna go on your head like that. Three, max, and then on your neck. So you're gonna do this in stages. You go up first until you're in this position in the maximum possible height, and then you go on your head. That way, you work your neck. All right, there you go. That's perfect. So now that you work your back muscles, you want to stretch them. So now we're gonna do this. You bring your knees all the way to you as far as you can. If you have a little belly, you can put your knees a little bit on each side of you rather than like that, right? So like this. And then again, you bring them to you as far as you can with the help of your hands. You're also working that same muscle again, this one here. Okay, this way you're stretching your back. Okay, about 10 seconds. Now that we've done this, we're going to start working a little bit the abs. So the first exercise we're going to do is what we call sit up, but you don't sit up. It's just as far as you can without actually sitting up. So like this. You can do it with your hands here, or you can do it like that. You can do it like that. At least 10 times. And when you go up, you hold a little bit in the up position. Okay, I think that was 10 here. Okay, once you've done this, now we're going to work the side muscles of your um, abs. So we go in this position here, like that, there, and I'm going to go up. So it's important that when you're doing your stomach muscles, is that you don't hold your breath. You don't hold your breath. You're gonna breathe in a way that you exhale when you're going up, you inhale as you're going down. So the other thing is when you exhale, you want to exhale everything you have inside, all the air. It's not like you're fighting with the air. You don't want to let it out. It's the opposite. The faster you exhale, the better it is. So we're gonna do this the other side now. So I'm gonna do the exhale so that you can hear me now. As you can see, I exhaled all the air I had inside and right away. So you exhale everything. Okay, so that was for the upper part of your stomach muscles. Stomach muscles are super important to keep your balance and to help you prevent or treat back pain. Okay? Without stomach exercise, without those that we're doing now, you will probably guaranteed to have back pain in the future if you don't already have it. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna do the lower um, stomach muscles. Okay, there are so many to do. We're gonna concentrate on. I'm gonna show you only like 2 or 3. So and you do want to do at least 2 of them each day. So if you lift your legs like this, you're gonna notice that your back is gonna arch a little bit here. So the aim of this exercise is to work this arch from the way it is to flatten it against the bed, right? So like that. Same thing. As you go up, you want to exhale. Okay, what I do at the end is I kind of do the same exercise, but a little bit in short bursts. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. So the key thing about every exercise we're doing, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, is speed. You don't do it fast. Nothing is to be done fast. You got to take your time and do it slowly. So when you want to do your ab exercises, you don't go like this. That doesn't work. It's slowly. Okay? Same thing for those ones we just did for the legs. You're not doing this. That's wrong. Okay, you're gonna do as much as you can in a slow manner. And don't worry, if you cannot do it properly in the beginning, just keep trying and eventually you get there. Muscles will need about 2 weeks to wake up and start working properly. So slowly you do it like that. Okay, now let's do one more for the lower abs. I'm going to do what we call the um, biking in the air. So for those who are starting with this, you want to do it as your legs are kind of high. For those who start to build their stomach muscles, you want to go down. So for weak people, up here. Okay. For those who have strong muscles, you can do it down there. And the aim of this exercise is to make sure as you're doing this, that this part here of your arch of your back should be flat against the bed, because normally as soon as your legs go there, you're gonna have an arch create here. So you wanna, if the arch is you know, you have an arch created, what you do after your legs are there is you flatten it and then you continue. So I'm gonna simulate that now. And by the way, your hands should be here because you need them to support you to do this exercise, and you're gonna push against the bed with those hands. So my legs are there, and you can see I have an arch. I'm gonna flatten the arch, and now I can go. Slow again. Breathe normally. Don't hold your breath because this will make it harder to do the exercise. You do about 15, 20 times. Okay, so now that we got that, I'm going to take a little break by stretching a little bit. So there are 2 stretches, not so easy to do, but you should aim at doing them as much as you can. So the first one is this one, which looks like here. So you want to try to get your knees between your armpits, your knees and your armpit. There. And as your knees get there, extend your legs as far as you can. And you're using your hands to kind of help it. So there. And you do this for about 10 seconds. There. Go. All right, second one is for also for the back muscles and for the so these two stretches they all work the back muscles of your legs, like the rear here, and your back muscles to prevent back pain. So there you go. You can start like this. So bring your knees to your chest, grab your feet up there, and you want to extend your feet, your legs. For most of you, you're not going to be able to do it properly at the beginning, but as time goes by, you will be able to. So you're going to extend your legs there, relax, stretch, and then for those who are advanced, they can bring their feet even their legs even further down. 10 seconds at least. All right. Okay. So far we worked the leg muscles, most of them at least. Um, we're going now to stretch this front leg muscle. So you're gonna go on your side, grab this. Your ankle should touch your butt here, like that, and there. That's the position. So the most important thing is that your knee here, this knee, should be straight with your body. Okay, for about 10 seconds or more. Then we go to do the second one. There. So this, touch your butt, grab here, there. All right. You've stretched all these. Now we're gonna stretch this. So there. Okay, so your foot under this knee, on the other side of the other knee, there, and you extend your arm up here so your shoulder will always be flat and touching your bed. You look the opposite side of where you're bending your knees. So like that. Okay, and then with this hand, you push your knee down for about 10 seconds or more. This again is very important for the health of your back. Now I'm going to do something now that, you know, some people may not want to do. Um, so it's up to you if you do it or no. Here we go. Another 10 seconds like that. Stretching your legs is extremely important for for your health and for your balance as you age. It's super important. Now, muscles, working the muscles of your legs is even more important, but that's not necessarily something that you can do in bed. We'll get to it in a moment after I finish this routine. So, there, you're pushing down here so that your knee touches the bed basically, and then you're looking on the other side, extending your um, opposite side hand, arm. All right, so that's more than 10 seconds. Now I'm gonna do what I did on the other side. So there. All right, so we're done pretty much with um, the legs is one final. We stretch almost everything. We need to stretch the inner thighs. So bring your feet as much as you can towards you. Some people may not be able to reach here, but with time you will. And you're gonna push your knees outside. So there. This works at the same time. It works your shoulder muscles because you're using your arms and shoulder muscles to be able to push your knees down. So there. Remember, when you're doing an exercise, to do the maximum you can. It's the maximum that you need to take advantage of this routine, which is really short, should take about 15, maximum 20 minutes every morning. And you want to get the maximum out of it. That's why you want to use your maximum power when you're doing any exercise. So, like right now, I should be using maximum what my shoulders can push to shoulders and arms to push my knees out. Okay, and that way, at the same time, we're achieving stretching of the inner muscles of the thighs. All right, that's done. Time for stretching the neck. It's super important. Left and right. Make sure you're closing your mouth. Like don't not like that. Okay, close completely. So teeth against each other. Perfect. Once you're done with that, you can stretch a little bit the back of your neck by doing this. Okay, now the aim now is to stretch your shoulder muscles here, which are at the same time your neck muscles. So I'm gonna incline. So the aim is your left ear to the tip of your shoulder, and at the same time I'm going to try to do something to pull this the opposite way so that I can stretch even more. So here I'm gonna grab my leg over here, okay, and then let me just stretch like that. So ear to tip of the shoulder, and once I reach there, now I want more stretching. So this hand here, I'm gonna push it that way, and there. So when you extend your leg, there you go. When you do this, you can feel the stretch all the way here, especially when you grabbed your leg and you pulled it that way. Okay, so that one. Now the opposite side. So here. Okay, as much as you can. Once you've achieved the maximum you can do for with your neck, now extend your leg while holding it with your hand properly, and you can feel now the stretch happening really in your shoulders on the left side of your neck. Okay, it's pretty much done. So to recap, we stretched pretty much most of the leg and back muscles. This is really important. All the others we can do throughout the day. I can try to come up with videos to show you what I do for my upper body, but the most important for me was legs. Now we're going to do some exercise for the legs as soon as I get out of bed, and I'll show you that. These are the most important. These are the biggest muscles in your body, so that's what keeps you healthy. All the other muscles, so except for the core muscles, which we worked already, for the muscles of your arms, they're they're important, but they're not as important as your leg muscles, because leg muscles are the biggest ones in your body. Um, in addition, most of us use their hands and arms as we do things throughout the day when we don't do anything for the legs because we're sitting all day long or we hardly walk. So it was important to me to do the stretching and exercise for the legs. When we did this exercise, the back exercise, we already worked the back muscles, the glutes, and the hamstrings. Okay, and then in part of it, I also told you to do the calves. This one. Okay, so this already worked a little bit your calf muscles. Um, Also, when we did any exercise that was involving us pushing against the bed here with your hands, we were working your triceps and the back of your shoulder, a little bit also um, your what's it called? I forgot the back muscle here. Um, so that's it. Now, as I said, for everything that's upper body, that's not something that you can do in this routine on bed. So I'm gonna get out, and for those who don't know, that's how you should get out of bed. Come on the side like that, and then with this one, you push. Your feet are already out of bed, and this one will help you, right? This will help you to get out without hurting your back or causing yourself any harm. Now, first thing I do when I get out of bed is to do squats, at least 6 reps. I don't know if you can see me here. I'm gonna try. So I do 6 squats. Okay, 6 or more, but that's what I'm gonna show you here. So that's 6. And then I do some balance exercises. So for example, if I wanna grab my socks to wear my socks, I go down on 1 foot. Like that. I go down on 1 foot. So it's not something that everybody can do, but eventually you will. I go down on 1 foot. And that's my balance, and I stay up. I don't sit when I'm putting on my socks. I stay up like that on 1 foot so that I can, work my balance. Balance is one of the most important things for us as we grow up, as we grow older. I mean. There. Balance, balance, balance. If you want to do one thing and never forget to do, it's working your balance. I think that's it for me.